This video is going to be pretty simple. Hector can be a confusing hero and kind of a hard hero to use. So what I want to do is showcase Hector as well as explain how to use Hector and give you guys a guild battle run. This is the composition I'll be using today. Let me walk you through why. Brand is going to give us some sustain with his shield, the defense up, plus the attack up is obviously going to help, and he's going to clear some of the damage over time in the guild boss. The Evelyn First On is there basically just to spam the extra turns, and then we have Zitlin, who is there to give us double the damage when we use the burst off Hector, who is like 90% of our damage. So we're going to be using heal because we don't really have a sustainer other than Zitlin, and then we're also going to be using the defense down spell as well. That way we can have 100% defense down time when paired with First On. So let me show you how the composition actually works and explain how Hector works. So Hector is a hero that is kind of confusing to use because of the way his passive works. He has 3 different basic attacks. Now I'm going to start here by doing the normal defense down because we can't use the defense down 2 on First On because instead we are going to have to be using her bonus turn. Now, he has 3 different basic attacks. When you do a basic attack with both axes, he does damage up 2, which gives him the 50% damage up. After you throw 1 axe, which is what I'm going to do here, which increases his damage taken, you can see it's damage taken 1. It has 1 of the down arrows and lasts for 2 turns. He gets 30% damage taken. Now, we are going to use the buff here by Brand, and then we're going to be using the bonus turn from her. This will just give us some additional turns, not really a big deal. And now, back to Hector in a moment, and we're going to explain this. So now that he has thrown 1 of his axes, when it gets to his turn, he's going to have the ability that if he uses his basic attack, it gives him damage up 1 instead, which gives him 30% bonus damage. So it's damage up 1 when he owns 1 axe in his hand. It's damage up 2 when he has 2 axes in his hand. Now, do we want to do damage up at this point? No, because the ultimate ability, depending upon how many axes are thrown, gives you bonus turns. You need to have both axes gone out of your hands. Now, if you look, if enemies affected by damage taken, it applies damage taken too. So if you axe him after you've already axed him, now it goes from 30% to 50% bonus damage taken. Now, this is where Hector basically starts the point of Hector, and where most people are going to misuse Hector, and even I originally misunderstood Hector. So when you go to use your ultimate, you're going to get 2 bonus turns because you threw your axes. First thing you're going to do is ult, and that's your first turn, okay? Damage. Now I have 2 turns. Now normally you're thinking, okay, why need to throw the axes again, right? But actually, you have 3 turns to your next ult. So what you want to do is 1 basic attack first. Then the next 2 are going to be throwing your axes because you have 2 turns here to keep it stacked. So I'm going to basic attack again. This is going to do more damage. And now I have another turn in which I can throw my axe, okay? And if we didn't have the bonus turns, this would only have 1 stack of the damage taken down. And we could use that to then reapply it and restack it, and it would go for 2 turns again, and you can infinitely keep the damage taken up. So the proper way to use him, if you're trying to do it correctly for DPS output, is the first 2 moves throw both the axes, then you ult, then basic attack into throwing 2 axes, and repeat ult, basic attack, throw 2 axes, basic attack, throw 2 axes, basic attack, throw 2 axes. That's basically the combination, okay? And you constantly use those bonus turns. Now, when paired with Zitlin, it's exceptionally good, and the reason it's exceptionally good with him is because I get those 3 bonus turns, and if we pair the timing of the 3 bonus turns with Zitlin himself, then we're going to basically get double damage on those 3 bonus turns. Now, you're going to see we have defense down 2 and increased damage down as well, or increased damage taken twice as well. So we have as most bonus damage on this guy as we can. He's going to go here. And now we are going to go back. There's the attack down from Brand. And at this point, the run is very simple. We're going to be repeating this same process every single time. Ultimate ability, basic attack. There's the damage up. Now we can throw an axe. We got that damage up. And now we can do this, and we go right back to it. It's the same process, okay? And I'm going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. Hector will do less damage without Zitlin because you're not doubling his damage randomly when Zitlin has up, even though it's a long cooldown. And of course, he's going to do less damage without Eve First On there as well in order to give him the bonus turns. But he still is one of the best, if not probably the best in my opinion, single target damage on the guild boss for green affinity that's possibly in the game. You can use him on red. I have used him on red. You are going to do less damage because you're not getting the affinity bonus. Keep that in mind, but the hero is still completely viable on 2 of the 3 affinities of the guild battle. Now, this can be sort of a longer run, so from here, I'm just going to fast forward the run since it's the same thing over and over and over again, and I will see you guys at the end. Okay, so the damage we did was actually, like, pretty bad, to be honest. It was the lowest damage we've had so far, but I haven't had really a chance to rerun it. I'm just going to take the damage. I'll show you the gear real quick, because I know people are going to want to know. The gear could be significantly better. If you look at the boots here, I'm using speed boots, which are, like, just not the right thing to be using here at the moment. If you look at the info, I don't have 100% crit rate, so I need to finish that up. And if you actually look at the attack, it's only 3,700 attack. So 258 crit damage, 3,700 attack, not 100% crit rate, okay? I do have him max glyph too, so that's with him all the way glyphed and not with anything but 1 ascension. So there is quite a bit of room left, and the max damage plus 50% is a pretty big deal as well, to be honest, because it's kind of like another damage up. There's another way you can go with his gear if you have a really good curse set, because the curse set, when it goes, will proc and give you that extra damage up, because it's basically redoing your basic attack. So that can be a pretty big deal too if what happens is you ult and then it procs the damage up, because then you have the damage up for the next basic attack, and your next basic attack will do a lot more damage too. AKA Hector is quite good, but he gets way better as he scales with gear, just like everyone in this game. But he has S tier attack and has some really high ceiling of damage. You can link him with people that give him bonus turns. Like if you had Mary, you can force bonus turns on him, and if you have first on also, you can get double bonus turn, which means that Hector can actually go throw both his axes into the ult, into getting 3 turns, into throwing the axes, basic attack, and ult again. Like you can more or less get 7 turns in a row with this guy, which is just like hilarious. So I actually think he's really, really, really good in a game that is not based upon speed. In a game that you can't lap people, we don't have to worry about making him fast as well as hard hitting. He just got a slap basically because he has all the bonus turns. So that's just the gear that I have available on him. I haven't been farming that much gear. If you actually look at my level, I've been lazy on the farming. I'm only level 54. So I've been playing this game on the side as a second game. Now, one other thing about Hector you should probably know is that since he is a starter hero and a single target damage hero, if you start with Hector, you're probably going to feel disappointed because Hector, I mean, I started with him, to give you an idea. I started with him as a well, and I still felt bummed out because the only time you can really use him is in the guild battle, and I haven't really got a spot where I've been able to use him in game glyph down stuff until just recently, to be quite honest with you. So he's felt basically terrible up until just now where I can actually start to use him. So if you do start with him, don't give up on him. Don't think he's trash. He's not trash. He just needs other people to help him out. Like Batman, he has to have the Batmobile and a million other toys and Robin and the Butler and all these people to help him do the job because he has no superpowers. He's just a guy that punches really hard. I do like Hector, though. He is fun to use. There is some cool mechanics with the bonus turns, and it does seem like it pairs very well with Mary. So there's a lot of other ways you can go. I'm sure you are smart enough, the viewer, to discover other ways to go with him, and hopefully this tickled your brain enough to make him interesting for you. I love you all. Consider subscribing for more Awaken Chaos Era. That's it.